What's up, guys? My name is Titulo Timothy, also known as Timfx. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing on how to draw support and resistance for EURUSD pair. I noticed that some people are finding it difficult to draw support and resistance for not only for currencies but for commodities, stocks and bonds. But today we'll only be discussing on how to draw support and resistance for EURUSD. Before I proceed, it is important for us to know that support and resistance, they are not particular prices. They are price regions at which price tends to bounce off from. Okay, I'm gonna be typing it for easy referencing. So okay, so support and resistance are price regions that price tends to bounce off from. Okay, so support and resistance are price regions that price tends to bounce off from. That's nice. And resistance is always the one at the top, while support is the one beneath. Okay, so support and resistance are price regions that price tends to bounce off from. Resistance is always the one at the top, while support is the one beneath, for easy understanding. So once you draw your two horizontal lines, just know that the one at the top is the resistance and the one below is the support. And lastly, in an uptrend, the resistance turns to support. Sorry, I'm slow in typing. Turns to support, and and in a downtrend, support turns to resistance. I hope we understand what I'm typing. So in a uptrend, the resistance turns support, and in a downtrend, the support turns resistance. Don't worry, don't be confused. We are going to go live into the market to look at these scenarios. Okay, so let me delete this so that our graph will be clear. Okay, so what we're about to do now, we want to draw a support and resistance. We want to identify which regions are support and which regions are resistance. So we're going to pick our tool here. We call it horizontal ray. Okay, this one here, we're going to click on it. So what we're about to do, we're about to draw the horizontal line in places that price tends to bounce off from. Now we're going to do it together. So let's just start from here. Looking at this line here, we could see that price bounced off here, something happened there, something happened here. So let's just draw one of our horizontal line here. We've drawn one, so let's pick the tool again. Let's try to see another one. Okay, one is happening here, I can see it here. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it in full details later. So let's pick the horizontal tool again. Okay, another one there. So let's pick another one. I think it's here. Nice one. So I think one still happened. Okay, I can see another one here. Another one is around this price region. Okay, so let's work with these 5 horizontal lines. Looking at this first line here, we saw that the price came here, hit this part and came down. Now this, as I said in the text that I typed earlier, the upper line is the resistance, the lower line is the support. So the price tends to bounce on the resistance, then it came down. It didn't surpass the resistance, so it bounced off under resistance and came down here. The price consolidated around this point, it ranged around this point, then it broke through the support. This is resistance, this is support, this is resistance, this is support. So it broke through the support and came down. So because it's a downtrend, the earlier support turned resistance, so a new support was formed. So this is the new support that was formed. So the price broke through the previous support that is now our resistance. It broke through it and came down to this point. It bounced off on this support, came up here, bounced off on the resistance, came down, but it didn't hit the support again. It still went back up, broke through the resistance, broke through it, but it did not hit the previous resistance. So it was just consolidating around this point, It broke to this point, but still consolidating. Then the direction was not so clear. So with this bearish candlestick, it broke through the resistance. This is now our resistance, this is now our support. So it broke through the resistance and came down. Look at this, very close. This candlestick, I think, is the pin bar candlestick. So let me increase it so that we're going to see it clearly. Look at it. The tail just hits the support region, just so accurate, perfectly. So it hit the support, came up, hit the resistance, came down. It was unable to break the support here, so went up there and broke through the support. Now this is now a new resistance, this is now a new support. So it came down, broke through the resistance, came down to this point, broke through the support. Now we should have it in mind that there are two types of traders. We have conservative trader and aggressive traders. Aggressive traders would have entered into the market for a sell at this point, because this bearish candlestick has already broken through the support, so they are forecasting a downtrend, which is sell for them. But unfortunately for them, the thing reversed and went in an up direction. And have it in mind, because they put their sell stop here, they'll likely put their stop loss here. So, and their take profit will be around the year. Using the Fibonacci extension, they should know how to take their profit. So an aggressive trader would have made a loss in this place because the market did not go in his or her direction. But a conservative trader always wait for a retest or a confirmation before he enter the trade. So normally, if a conservative trader wants to enter this trade, the price is meant to hit this support or support back then, to hit the support, then come down. So assuming the thing hit the support and it was coming down, a conservative trader would have entered into a sell stop order. But because it didn't hit it, so conservative trader did not participate in this market. So it was only the aggressive trader that participated and lost. So the price came here. This was the first breakout. It was a real first breakout. So it broke out the support, went back to hit the resistance. It consolidated a bit here, came up. This is an uptrend, so these are new supports, these are new resistance. So it came up, it was unable to break this resistance region, so it was just hitting this point and coming back, hitting this point, coming back, hitting this point, coming down. Another false breakout happened here. An aggressive trader is going to lose a trade here too. He's going to lose an entry here rather. So because some traders will say since it's above the resistance, so it's likely to buy, so they'll put a buy stop there and they will lose their money. So the price came down here, a false breakout happened as well, so it went up, hit these points, trying as much as possible to break the resistance, but was unable to break it at that point. So this green candlestick was able to break it. It broke it, a new resistance region was formed, and it hit this price region and it went on an inverse. So when it reached this resistance point, it came on a downtrend. This downtrend, this is the resistance, this is the support. It broke the support, this is the resistance, this is the support. It broke the support again, but hit the new support, then went back to almost hit the old resistance. So it couldn't hit it and broke down here. So this is our support, this is our resistance. It came down to this point, broke through the support, came down, dilly-dallied around this point, it consolidated around this point, then came down, and I think we should draw another. Okay, we'll still come to that. I think another line is needed around this point because price reversed there. Let's draw it now. Price reversed there. It was so perfect. So price reversed there. So this is the new resistance, this is the new support. So price bounced off the support, came down, came up here, was unable to break the resistance at the point, then went up, broke the resistance, then went to meet the new resistance. Now this is the new support and this is the latest resistance. So these two are what we're working with now. Now have it in mind, this is just 4-hour time frame. 4 hour days, it's a 4-hour time frame. So for us to have a deep insight of what trend of what support and resistance is, we need to go down to, let's say, 1-hour time frame. So in the 1-hour time frame, we'll be able to see a clearer picture of this support and resistance. So let's go there now. 1 hour. Okay, so actually should be working with the current market price. This is the 1-hour time frame, and this is where the market is at the moment. The market is at 1.19837. So we are going to try to draw because the space between here and here is actually too much. Here and here is too much, so we have to still draw some in between lines to show the support and resistance. So I've picked our horizontal ray line tool. We'll point it here. Okay, let's take another one. If you notice, I'm just drawing it in between the lines that we've drawn before. So I've drawn one in between this one and this one, which is this one. Let me now draw down in between this one and this one, which will be around there. So it will be here. That's nice. So let's draw another one. Another one will be around here. Okay, so let's the 1-hour time frame. Let me change the candlestick to be, let me change it to be another color so that it won't confuse us. Okay, let me change it. Orange, sorry. Okay, then the last one, orange. Okay, so the orange horizontal lines are the ones we drew in our 1-hour time frame, while the white lines, the white horizontal lines, are the one we drew in our 4-hour time frame. So for our 1-hour time frame, looking at this first line that we drew here, you saw that the price came down to this point. It was just consolidating around this point, broke through. We are assuming that this one is a resistance and this one is a support. So it broke through the support here, came down to almost hit a new support, but it didn't. It went inverse and went up all the way to this point, broke the resistance, then came down, broke the support. I broke the new supports, broke the latest support, broke this support again. So it's consolidated around this point, and we could see that it broke through the support and came down. So because it's a downtrend, the support turned resistance and we have a new support line. So let me drag it up. So we now have a new support. This is an old resistance, support, resistance. So the price came down, it came here, it's this resistance, came down. It was indecisive at this point because it broke through, came up again, broke through. So it was indecisive. It was on the fence actually. It was perplexed. The buyers and the sellers, they were perplexed if they should actually take the prices up or they should take it down. So there was an indecision here. So I think the sellers actually won after the debate, so the price came down to this new support region. It came down. Remember, we drew this horizontal line in our 4-hour time frame, so it came down to this point and it just hit the point and went on an inverse. It was a downtrend before, so after it hit this point, it went on an uptrend. So this is the support, this is the resistance. It just hit the support, went up and break the resistance. A new resistance is formed, a new support. This is the new support. So it went here, just bounced off the resistance points. It consolidated around this region here, around this region, then broke this resistance, went up, broke this resistance, went up, came down. There was an indecision here, but peradventure the buyers actually won the debate as well. So it went on an uptrend. Now this is now the latest resistance, this is the latest support, and this is the current price at which the EURUSD is at the moment. So what is next? Is it an uptrend or is it a downtrend? So these are the things that are likely to happen next. It's either the price move from there and hits this resistance, or or it's this is on the resistance at the moment and come to the support region. So either of the two is likely to happen. And have it in mind, if you are to place a trade, you don't just place a trade using just support and resistance. You have to add other indicators. Like me, I usually use order block, I use Fibonacci, and I use trend line analysis. So I can't just place a trade entry using support and resistance, because there might not be more confirmations. For you as a trader, for you to enter into a trade, you must get more confirmations. You don't just use one indicator to determine if you enter a trade or not. No, you need more confirmations to it. So I also want to show something before we end this video. Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. I need to show something very quick. Let me delete these arrows. Okay, let me delete these 1-hour horizontal lines. Okay, so I want to show you something really quick. Looking at this, let's go back to where we drew the lines from. So looking at this, the difference, the gap between this point to this point, it's almost the same thing as others. So the gap between here and here is almost the same thing as the gap between here and here, almost the same thing as between here and here, almost the same thing between here and here. So if you notice something, it tends to follow a particular gap trend. I don't know if you understand. Like the difference between here and here, let's say how many pips. Let's just say 78 pips. Okay, that's fine. Let's take it again. The gap between here and here is around 81, just 3 pips. Okay, it's not, just about 3 to 5 pips difference. The gap between here and here, 73 pips. Have you seen? So they're almost the same thing, if not the same thing. They are close to being the same. So you just notice this particular trend and you apply it to what the market is currently. So the gap between here and here is almost the same thing as between here and here. So if the market is to go up here as we forecasted, it means it to go up at this gap, the gap here, and if it's to come down, is to come down at this gap. So this particular gap trend tends to repeat itself. So watch our next video on support and resistance for gold XAUUSD. Thank you and have a nice day. Really appreciate your time. Thanks. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when we release new videos. Thanks and have a good day.